Dumbledore always seemed to be the chink in Voldemort's armour because, despite the Dark Lord achieving a power that many could only dream of, the headmaster always seemed to be able to figure him out and work a solid defence against him, even if the odds were highly in Voldemort's favour. Now, look, it's not a huge secret that Voldemort feared Dumbledore. He never ever admitted it, but he knew that Dumbledore had the skill to defeat him in a duel, which I believe is only part of the reason as to why Voldemort wanted to achieve immortality, not the whole entire reason. Don't get me wrong on that part, guys, but if he can't die, then Dumbledore can't truly kill him or defeat him. However, this video isn't about acknowledging that the Dark Lord feared his former teacher. We know that. This video is about establishing and understanding what the real and true reason is as to why Voldemort feared him. I'm pretty confident I can answer that question in today's video, so let's keep talking and dive deeper into the relationship between the two. Many of us know that Dumbledore took Tom Riddle from Wold's orphanage and gave him a place at Hogwarts with the hope that he could create a better life for himself by learning how to safely practice magic. Tom's dark personality had already emerged from his time in the orphanage, and he quickly exposed himself to Dumbledore after the latter found his stolen belongings. He quickly scolded the young boy, warning him that thievery would not be tolerated at Hogwarts. This initially infuriated Tom, but it also taught him his first and most important lesson: to never show any form of his true self. He had already lost the trust of a man that was taking him away from the orphanage, which is true. Dumbledore looked on him with suspicion for the entirety of his tenure as a student, and what's worse is Tom knew that. Tom knew Dumbledore didn't trust him, and Dumbledore was aware that Tom knew that he didn't trust him, without the two ever establishing and confirming it. What began to bother Riddle was the fact that he couldn't fool Dumbledore no matter what he did or how hard he tried. Just a quick pause in this video to talk about today's sponsor, Audible. When it comes to sponsors, I never recommend anything that I don't believe would be beneficial for you all, and since my entire YouTube channel is based on a book series, well, you're probably starting to see why I'm so happy to team up with such an awesome company. Everyone, I have used Audible for years, literally years, and I could not be happier about recommending this app. Many of you are aware I'm in the middle of launching a new vampire-based YouTube channel, so my chosen audiobook for this month is Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice, which comes after my last audiobook, The Vampire Lestat. It's amazing to hear both Lestat and Louis' different takes on the same situation. If you haven't read any of Anne Rice's work, please do. Now, with that being said, guys, the app isn't just audiobooks. The Audible app has podcasts, wellness programs, theatrical performances, A-list comedy, and exclusive Audible originals you will not find anywhere else. Guys, it's everything you love to listen to, all in one app. You have a playlist for life. Trust me, there will be no regrets if you take my advice and choose to download this app. Now, Audible are so confident that you'll find something you love that they want to give you an incredible deal today. Audible want you to have 30 days free on them. Try it out, see how you feel. There's nothing to lose and only listening convenience to gain. To avail of your offer, you can click the link in the description below, or go to your web browser and type in audible.com/HP folklore. That's audible.com/HP folklore, or simply text HP folklore to 500 500. 3 different quick ways to get your trial now. Let me know what audiobook you choose in the comment section below. Download Audible now. No matter what award or accolade he received for his outstanding contribution to the school, Albus Dumbledore never bought it. It also angered Tom that Dumbledore was the reason he was even in Hogwarts in the first place. Tom never revealed his secrets to anyone. He never told anyone about his time in the orphanage. No one knew that he took 2 kids to a dangerous cave to torture, or what the situation leads us to believe anyway. No one knew about him stealing stuff from others and the fact that he had a habit of collecting prized possessions. I think it's pretty clear that he had read all about Dumbledore's achievements as the two were compared to each other, and he knew that no matter what he did or how powerful he became, Dumbledore had decades of experience on him, and I don't mean decades in terms of old age experience, but wizarding experience, magical knowledge. There wasn't a spell Dumbledore didn't know, not a defensive maneuver he couldn't cast. He was truly the greatest wizard of the age. He defeated Gellert Grindelwald. He was the go-to guy to defeat the bad guy, so how could Tom ever better him? That's my point. That was his true fear. It wasn't exactly a fear of being defeated by him, but a fear of never being able to emulate what his teacher had done. He's even listed as the greatest dark wizard of all time, but he's not listed as the greatest wizard of all time. It's why he dived so deep into dark magic, for despite Dumbledore's greatness, this was an area that Voldemort believed that Albus had very little knowledge in. In actual fact, the Hogwarts headmaster was vastly knowledgeable in dark arts. He once had a plan to take over the wizarding world and to enslave the Muggle race, and was the close acquaintance of Gellert Grindelwald, who once held the title of the most powerful dark wizard. The two studied all aspects of magic, and Dumbledore's lust for power and greatness was so overwhelming that he secluded himself in Hogwarts so as to not be tempted to go down the path of glory. There was always a mysterious side to Albus Dumbledore that Voldemort couldn't see nor discover, no matter how hard he tried to do. It was this blind side that the Dark Lord feared. There was always something more to him. Voldemort couldn't match or live up to Dumbledore's reputation if he didn't know his former teacher inside and out. To sum it up guys, Voldemort always believed that Albus had something up his sleeve, and that something could be massively detrimental to him if the two actually came up against each other. On the other hand, that's exactly how Dumbledore felt about Voldemort. By the late 70s, the Order of the Phoenix was on its last legs, and that was down to Dumbledore's resilience. He knew that Voldemort had something up his sleeve that he believed he couldn't match or compete with. It wasn't a case of the two wizards fearing each other, but they both feared the unexpected. Voldemort was so confident within himself that it was utter and total arrogance. He approached every duel, every obstacle, every situation with the sincere belief that he was going to be victorious. The only person he couldn't do that with was Albus Dumbledore. I just said a couple of moments ago that Dumbledore felt the same way about Voldemort, but the difference was that he actually discovered what the Dark Lord's secret was with the help of Harry Potter. After discovering that Voldemort created a Horcrux, the headmaster went from the fear of the unknown to acknowledging that now this is the worst possible outcome. The worst possible scenario has come true. In conclusion, too much of Tom's past was revealed to Dumbledore, which means that's an open door to his weakness, and he knew that. He was all too well aware that Voldemort knew how he thought, and despite closing himself off to everyone, he still suffered the repercussions of revealing himself to Dumbledore on the very first encounter all those years ago, something I don't believe he felt he recovered from. So guys, that's my video on the real reason Voldemort feared Dumbledore. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, as Dumbledore once said, don't pity the dead, pity the living and those who don't hit the like button on this video. See you all very soon, and thanks for watching.